My name is Empress Quamine, and you're listening to High EQ Woman. I don't believe in coincidences, but I do believe in alignment. I feel that we're in a very major shift right now, not only in the rise of the divine feminine, but also in a collective consciousness. There was a time when women felt so much shame about their sexuality or even the fact that they wanted sex and to show off that sensuality. And now we're going through a space that is different from the quote unquote liberation era that we've seen before. Now women are using that sexual energy, which is also that creative energy, to drive towards their goals. And they're also being more discerning in who they choose to partner with. You're starting to see now that a lot of women are choosing to be single and focus on themselves instead of settling into relationships that don't serve them. And that doesn't mean that we don't want partnership or even need partnership. It's just that we are centering our wellness because now we're in a different stage, in a different space, and women in general are showing up in a new, evolved way. And so when I say I don't believe in coincidences, I keep on seeing different signs in the universe that are telling me that this shift is happening. One, with my own personal experience, this is like the first time I truly feel no shame about my sexual past and my version of myself when I was in my 20s, when I was quote unquote liberated. And I'm reading a book now about a time with an actress. Well, actually, she was a writer during the time, during the late 1800s, early 1900s. And she was British and known for showcasing women in a different light, in a way where they were owning their sexuality. What I am talking about is not the fake liberated woman, where we were shown that promiscuity and the way we own our body is by just sleeping around and not caring or having any emotional attachments to the men that we're with. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not liberation. That's not freedom at all. Because I believe the act of making love is sacred. However, how you do it and how you express it is up to you. But come into it knowing that you are whole, and come into it doing as much as the work on yourself as you can. I've been abstinent for about almost 5 years now, and it's not because I haven't had the opportunity. It's not because I have a hard time having someone to be intimate with. It's because I definitely rather my peace, and I needed that time to really learn who I am, learn what I want, reclaim my identity, and center myself instead of centering men like I have in the past, where I was so focused on the male gaze that I didn't even recognize myself anymore as my own entity. I was so focused on my value being attached to what a man believes is my worth. And now that I've been doing that work and I've been evolving, recently I've been in this lover girl mood where I want the romance and I want the intimacy. Yes, and the sex. However, it can't be done with just anybody. When you raise your standards and raise your vibrations by coming home to yourself, then you don't see the world in the same way. And that forces those who want to be with you to step up or step off. Either way, you're going to be fine. Because then when you're vibrating at this energy, you're going to attract those who are already there or higher. So this era, as I call the Empress era, where we're reclaiming our creativity and our sexuality and our sensuality as healers and artists, also as our strongest selves and most empowered selves. Independent women who are being in interdependent relations. That's the goal. Where we're showing up saying, I am whole right now. You are whole right now. Let's do this life together and see what we accomplish. So I feel like there's a reason why all these signs keep coming to me, where I'm learning about dark feminine psychology and even the 3 A's about what a woman. I learned this. I was watching a podcast with who is it? I was watching a podcast, Jay Shetty's podcast, and he had a quote unquote relationship expert on there, Sadia, I believe her name is, and she talked about the 3 A's to make a woman fall in love and the 3 L's to make a man stay in love. And the 3 A's were attraction. We should be attracted to our partner. Admiration. We should admire that person. In whatever capacity that looks like, we should admire something about him. And then the last A was, adoration. He should adore you. Because why not? And then for men, the 3 L's were, they need lust. So they want to have that sexual attraction to their partner. Loyalty. They need to feel loyal to their partner and get that in return. And then that last L, I love it, is labor. They need to feel motivated. They need to have motivation to not just win you over, but invest in you, whether that's financially and or emotionally. I think actually just both, honestly. But they need to invest. And that's for them as well as for you as a woman. Because once they invest in you, they're going to be more willing and desiring to see that relationship work. But you have to have all three, right? Because it's imbalanced when you only have one or two and you're missing a major component. Like for women, right? How many times do we see the quote unquote nice guys? Oh, he's so nice, but I'm not attracted to him. But he's so nice. That's not going to work. You're not really into him. And we are able to have all three, just like men are able to have all three with the L's. So it's good to know what the A's are for us, and it's good to know what the L's are for them, because we know what they're looking for. And honestly, we need the same thing. I think we all need the A's and L's, but men and women, we are different in some ways, and that's just true, but at the core, we do want the same things as humans. So anyway, I say all that to say, get in your power. Get in your body. I know so many of us have held trauma in our body from whatever experiences we had. As I always say, feel it to heal it so we can work through it. Move your body. Get to know your body again. If you are just like me, feeling in the energy of, I want to be touched. I want to be felt. I want to be loved. I want to be adored. You got that playlist on. If you're not in a relationship, please don't go settle and just say, let me go call Tyrone, someone I don't adore, doesn't adore me. I don't admire, maybe I'm just attracted to him, or maybe I'm not even attracted to him, but just to have somebody. No, we're not doing that. And that's the same for the men out there. Don't do it. Do it with yourself. Pun intended. Do it with yourself. Learn yourself. Get to know yourself. Love on yourself. You're going to be vibrating higher after that. Okay, honey? And then you go out in the world and you attract those people, but please don't settle. So in this energy, this lover girl, lover boy energy, sit in it and be in it and love it. Enjoy. This is Empress Kwamine. Thank you for listening to High EQ Woman. See you next time. Peace.